I was helping save lives every single day, but slowly losing control of my own. And that contradiction hit me hard. And it was forcing me to ask the question most nurses actually avoid, is that what happens when you are the person that is caregiving for everyone, but not yourself? I started gaining weight. I started looking in the mirror and being like, I don't even recognize myself anymore. I looked in the mirror after I went to the vending machine. I was like, this is not me. And it was scary in that moment because when you lose sight of yourself and you're actually in a career where 24/7, you're telling people what to do, how to live this healthy lifestyle, how to be your best version. And then you're literally feeling like contradicting that and you're going down to the vending machine right after. It's quite funny, but it's not. All right, girls, welcome to the first episode. I am Courtney Brooks, and I am going to walk you through my journey. And why does it matter? My journey, why does my story matter? Is because my story foundered a pathway that has literally taken thousands of women from feeling burnt out, feeling exhausted, and feeling like they can't live their health and fitness lifestyle with being a nurse, to being able to do it and exceed it, and to be able to get towards their 2.0 version where they actually feel like their trajectory changes in their life. They're feeling like, oh my God, I have a new partner, I have new boundaries, I'm not a people pleaser anymore. Like, these are the changes that happen within this community and happen from the stories, from the belief of, man, like, if she's been through this, like, I can get through this. So I want to start with saying that I was helping save lives every single day, but slowly losing control of my own. And that contradiction hit me hard. And it was forcing me to ask the question most nurses actually avoid, is that what happens when you are the person that is caregiving for everyone, but not yourself? Where's your caregiver? When have you last given back to yourself and actually put yourself in the forefront of your priorities? And you're probably literally thinking to yourself, like, never. When do I have time for that? I have family, I have all this stuff. We're never putting ourselves first. And that stops today. That stops because I want you to listen to this story very closely, because this is what is going to change everything for you, okay? For me, I am from Canada, and I started nursing when I was like 21. I was doing it in Canada for a couple of years. I really had this urge, like so much, like everyone has that urge at one point. They're like, I want to go travel nursing. And then you do it and you're like, oh my God, that was crazy. So that's exactly what happened to me. I was feeling like I could balance my health and fitness with doing regular nursing, night shifts, day shifts, like a really regular schedule. But it wasn't until I started travel nursing that everything hit really hard. And it was because it was the heat of COVID. And as you guys know, that was traumatic. It was absolutely traumatic. 5 night shifts a week, feeling exhausted. I was locked into this one unit, pretty much had no help. And I started just really questioning myself, because every single day it was an hour commute to work, an hour back. I felt like I just was exhausted. I was exhausted. I felt like I couldn't actually go to the gym for long periods of time. I felt like I just didn't have a life outside of nursing. I was just like work, day in, day out, back and forth. And I actually started questioning myself, especially since I was pretty young during this. And I was like, man, is this going to be my life for forever? Like, am I always going to feel like this? Am I always going to be exhausted on my days off? Am I always going to be sleeping through all my lash appointments so I wasn't even looking cute? Like, all this stuff. Am I always going to feel like this? And I think every nurse asks that question because they truly actually wonder, am I going to sacrifice my life for this career? And this career is not just a career. This is literally such a calling for all of us. We felt so called to help nurses. We felt like we were going to change the world. Like, we went into this with bushy eyes, bushy tails, whatever they say for that. You were really excited about this and you wanted it to work out. You wanted it to be this beautiful, like, fairy tale story of you helping so many people. And it ended up, some days feeling like that. But then a lot of days he felt burnt out. And you just felt like your life was just going to revolve around that 24/7, that feeling. But not only that, is that you started gaining weight. And that's exactly what happened to me. I started gaining weight. I started looking in the mirror and being like, I don't even recognize myself anymore. I remember this distinctly, this moment where I was doing the travel nursing. It's probably 2 a.m. Went downstairs to the vending machine, got something really quick. I knew within myself, like, I know better than this. Like, we all know better than that to go to the vending machine, but we do it anyways because we need something quick. We're stressed. So I looked in the mirror after I went to the vending machine. I was like, man, this is not me. And it was scary in that moment because when you lose sight of yourself and you're actually in a career where 24/7, you're telling people what to do, how to live this healthy lifestyle, how to be your best version. And then you're literally feeling like you're like contradicting that and you're going down to the vending machine right after. It's quite funny, but it's not, right? And then all of a sudden you just start losing your energy and you start feeling like you actually you're not gonna get the help. That's exactly what happened to me. That's exactly what happened to me. I was in the trenches. I was hardly drinking any water because the COVID floor was closed off. I was hardly getting any steps in because you can imagine it's like they're literally a box. So I just have to like circle in one little spot to get the steps in. I couldn't even leave that unit. And I felt confined and I felt like, man, am I gonna give up? And of course, like us as nurses, like we're fighters. Like we worked our asses off to get into nursing. We literally like studied for so long. We were so disciplined. We gave our all to get into this career. We are not like people that just give up. So when I felt that feeling of I'm gonna fail and I just wanna like give up on myself, I wanna neglect myself because everyone else is the priority, because my dream of doing travel nursing was the priority, that sucked. So I was like, I have to do something about this. And that is when I decided to reach out to coaches. And in that moment, I was so excited because I was like, I finally have a coach. I finally have a program. They're going to do it for me. I'm going to be able to actually feel good, feel energized for those shifts, not feel like I'm contradicting myself when I tell all these patients to, do your steps and everything. And I actually was. But what I found is that nothing is ever what it seems. Like we go into it, we're like so excited about it. But what happened is that as days went on and the motivation went away, that's when I started feeling like, oh, I can't get these steps in anymore. Oh, I'm literally sleeping on my days off. I'm still ordering the food because I didn't have time to meal prep. I'm going out and I'm trying to work out all like for 2 hours long. There's 14 exercises in my plan. And I'm like, how can I do this with being a nurse? Like I actually feel like I couldn't. And then the response that I got back to that by my coach was, well, if you can't do it, then you don't have what it takes to be able to get towards your goals. And that freaking hit hard. That literally hit hard. Because can you imagine someone saying that to you? It's like, you're just not good enough. And I think as nurses, we constantly feel like we're just not good enough anyways. So imagine literally the person is supposed to care for you, supposed to hold you in such high regards, be your motivator, is literally telling that if you can't do it, that's just not enough. It's like, man, that killed some wounds right there. It literally did. Dug up some deep stuff. But as you know, we're fighters. So I was like, yeah, I did feel like a failure. Yeah, I did feel misunderstood by the industry. Yeah, that scared me. Because guess what? I felt like a failure. And that is probably the worst fear for us to feel because it makes us not want to try again. It makes us not want to reach out. It makes us not want to invest in ourselves again because we're just like, I'm just going to fail because I can't do it. I can't be that person because we've tried so many times. And that was when I just started to have these little inklings of, man, like I love fitness. I loved fitness before I started nursing. I was doing bikini competitions at the same time. I was really just in love with the idea of fitness and actually making this lifestyle work with my shifts. So I actually had a background in PT I coached people in the past. I also had an app that I already had. And I was like, I'm just going to like play around with something for a second here. I'm just going to do what I think would actually work with being a nurse. So it's like, let me just like go. And I'd like program this little tiny plan for myself that was like 5 exercises, superset everything, made it really quick, just went to the basics, the things that actually are going to add up when it came to working out with my body. I wasn't trying to fluff around. And I was like, I'm only going to work out 4 times a week. And I'm going to go hard for those workouts. Okay, amazing. Put that into the app. Then I was like, I'm just going to meal prep real quickly. And instead of me meal prepping like a million different recipes at once, I'm just going to bulk cook for 4 days in a row. I'm going to set it up. I'm going to plan and track it so that I'm in my deficit, in my calories. Amazing. Did that, slid it to the side. Then I was like, I'm going to drink all the water. Now, instead of me forcing it all on that shift, because I actually couldn't, because I remember we were confined to this little box, I was like, I'm just going to do a lot of water when I'm at my workouts and before the shift. And I'm going to walk after I get done my workout. And I walked in the parking lot, guys. I literally walked in the parking lot of the hospital. And I was like, I'm just going to like commit to this. I'm going to do what it takes because I want to see myself win. I want to have that hero story so badly, as we all want. And that's when I started seeing changes. And I started getting excited because I was like, oh my God, I could start seeing the ab lines again. I could start seeing my energy get increased. I could start seeing the possibility of, if I keep this up for months on end, like I could get there. I could get towards my goals. I could lose weight. I could feel the energy. I can make this happen and not have to literally give up my career for my health. So I started seeing that, and it felt so amazing, guys. You know what it feels like to finally win after going through like hell and back. But it wasn't always easy because there was moments of doubt. There was moments of your shift going too long and someone coding and the patient just like absolutely all over the place. And you're just thinking to yourself like, oh my God, I can't get this workout in after because I have to stay like 3 hours long to chart, and I have to clean up my mess, and I'm a mess over here, and then I got my long commute, and then I'm just gonna go back to the Uber Eats. But then I was like, no. We're only human. We're gonna experience that. But I was like, commit to it, Courtney. Like, this is your option. This is like, we're gonna find no other way but to guarantee this, so this is gonna work. Because I already saw that it was working. So then I did it, guys. And even though I felt so many days where I was like, am I ever going to be able to actually make this happen for myself? Am I going to just be a failure for the rest of my life? And that actually gave me hope. It finally gave me hope. It actually gave me results. And then I just like, I got addicted to it. I was like, I just want to keep winning. Then I hired mindset coaches, and I hired a psychologist, and I hired the best PT I could. And I hired, other people, and I just like read so much, and I listened to audiobooks like nonstop, and I just wanted to evolve. I wanted to be better. And that changed me from the inside out. I actually started feeling confident with myself when I literally spent most of my life not feeling confident in myself, in my body. In my life, I constantly just felt like I wasn't enough, and it was finally where I actually felt power again. And then that's when I was like, man, I can't keep this to myself. I can't just like do this for myself and see the benefits of how much this changed my whole life and not give that to other nurses. So that is what sparked everything for me with Fit Nurse Movement, is because I realized that I'm not the only one, guys. I can't be the only one that felt this way. And when I looked around and people started noticing the changes within myself, they started asking me, like, what do you do, Courtney? Who's your coach? They started actually recognizing that, hey, I can do this too. And it was so crazy because I am not the same version as I am today as I was then. And I was not business orientated. I was not like, I couldn't like be this amazing coach at the time. I had self-doubts as well. And, this opportunity came in front of me where someone was like, hey, what if you did nursing and fitness combined? And like, we literally never saw anything out there that was like that before. And I was like, that would be really cool. But then again, as we know, we're hard on ourselves. So we're like, I could never do that. Someone else will do it. Someone else will do this amazing thing. And I felt the calling. I felt it was the most amazing idea. And then I pushed the calling down, as we do, because we're like, am I worthy of that? And then the calling came again, okay? Because that's what happens with real callings in real life, real purposes. They call you, okay? And they keep on knocking until you answer the fucking door. Like, come on. They came to me in my dreams. They came to me in real life. They came to me at a conference when literally this emotion went over me that was crazy. Guys, like, you'll never believe this. There was this quote at this conference. I remember it was like literally black background, white writing, huge paragraph. I literally took a photo of it. It literally said, when you hold yourself back from doing the things that you were actually meant to do, living in your purpose, you are holding back the potential of what you can do for other people. So when you rise, when you stand in your power, when you stand in your purpose, you are literally going to unlock a part of life where all these people are going to flood in and be like, we've been waiting for you. And it's so emotional because right once I started the fitness movement, that's exactly what happened. And like, everyone started flooding in, and like, everyone was just like, we've been waiting for you, because they needed hope and they needed to feel like they could actually do this. And they had people that actually could help them. And that calling I take so personally, and I hold myself so responsible for everyone, because I know within myself that this is literally what I was meant to do in life. I feel that immensely, and I feel so responsible to change the world and to change our nurses and to give them a really good life, because I know what's possible. And the crazy piece is that we're doing it. Myself, my team, we're doing it, and we see it every single day. We see hundreds of lives change. We have 230 some active members in the community. We know them. Okay, we're not a number. We're not a let's push a business, let's try to make money. We are literally, we know you, we see you, we want to help you, we want to make the difference in the world. Because the thing is that at the end of the day, I want to look back at my life here on earth and be like, I know that I made a huge difference. And I feel that every single day. And that's literally what drives this. And it's so amazing to think that there was a moment where I wanted to give up. And that's why I want to give you guys so much hope in this journey, whether you're just wanting to feel more confident in your body, whether you actually want to join our movement, which would be freaking amazing. I just want to give you hope that you're not alone and that you do got this, and that the world is giving you possibilities right now, where you don't have to sacrifice your health for your career, and you can be an even better nurse. You can be an even better partner, even better friend. You can elevate yourself without feeling guilty, and you can pour back into yourself. And that's exactly, what this podcast is all about, is showing you the way in a way that is fun. Fun, messy, all the things coming from literally me, who's been through it all. So that being said, gals, this is what this podcast is all about. And I can't wait to see you in here. I can't wait to hear all the feedback. I can't wait to see what you say about this and what it unlocks in you, because I know it's going to unlock something. And even if that's belief that you can lose weight, that's amazing, because we're going to be covering everything, and it's not what you think it's going to be. It's not what you think it's going to be at all, because the losing weight and the life of a nurse and actually making this lifestyle work is very different than what the world out there is telling us that it is. It's very different. So I'm excited to show you the way. But anyways, gals, so please hit the subscribe so that you can follow each week in this podcast. And I am signing out. So basically what we went over today is that we covered the story, the origin story of the fitness movement, what I went through, why this is my calling, my purpose, my everything in life, why I take responsibility for all of you that are coming into this podcast, or responsibility of all of you in the movement, is because this is exactly what is going to change the world for you guys. Like, it actually is. I believe that immensely, and not in a cocky way, but in a way of like, this is going to change nurses. This is going to change your life. So, all right. Bye-bye. See you next time.